Planned free speech rally by a group known as the Free Speech Coalition drowned out by this. 40,000 people marching through the streets of Boston headed to the Common Saturday. Emotions were running high just a week after the hate-fueled violence in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Anything but a common Saturday on the Common. There were some heated exchanges, bottles of urine even thrown at police. But aside from that, Commissioner Evans summed it up by saying 99.9% of the people out there were standing tall against hatred.
Because in spite of that noise out there, we're here to stand up for something very fundamental, which is called free speech.
Racists and hateful people are not welcome in Boston. And if you do come, you're going to be overwhelmed by a mighty force for love and for justice and for peace.
Everybody has different views. And if you take it to the violence level, then you lose your argument 100%.
Now, while most kept their cool, there were some punches thrown, some fights seen here on camera between demonstrators, and BPD did have to call in the public order platoon, making 33 arrests over the course of the day.
Their focus seemed to be on late afternoon demonstrations seen here on Tremont Street, right across from the Common. WBZ Chantee Lans was there and has the story this morning.
The protests and counter-protests were overwhelmingly peaceful, but there were a few scuffles over on Tremont Street outside of the Boston Common. About 40,000 people converged on the Boston Common and surrounding area for the 2-hour free speech rally. Almost all were counter-protesters.
I'm showing both sides that we need to come together because I'm sick and tired of the violence, and what happened in Charlottesville was absolutely terrible.
There were an estimated 25 to 50 people in that area surrounded by barricades. But with overwhelming crowds, they all left early, about halfway through the rally. Afterwards, as thousands left, many stayed, creating standoffs nearby with police holding clubs in full riot gear.
One of the alt-right members or something like that, they were coming down the street in police protection.
This man was escorted by police after he was punched in his head after getting into an argument with what appeared to be a counter-protester. Some unruly protesters shouting obscenities at police, 2 BPD officers hurt with minor injuries, one on the back, the other their wrist.
You know, tensions are high.
There were multiple arrests, some even pepper sprayed on Washington Street in downtown Crossing.
I couldn't breathe. I was holding my neck, and for maybe 10 or 15 minutes I couldn't breathe or couldn't see.
About an hour later on that same street, protesters assembled again, peacefully, having an open dialogue about the city's history on race with Boston Police Chief William Gross.
You had Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King that led a 20,000-person march to that same spot in 1965. So I think his spirit was there today.
And Mayor Marty Walsh thanking the city overall for keeping the protests peaceful throughout the day. On the Boston Common, Chantee Lans, WBZ News.
So looking at the free speech rally itself, it fell apart in the words of one of its speakers. As security plans blocked news cameras from actually being able to get up near the bandstand to hear what was said. So one of the speakers, Libertarian Senate candidate Shiva Ayyadurai, posted his message on YouTube.
But, you know, we weren't cowed down. And I will always stand up for all of you, and all of us here in many ways are true patriots, because in spite of that noise out there, we're here to stand up for something very fundamental, which is called free speech.
Organizers say they've been planning this rally for free speech since July.
Clearly overshadowed by the counter-protest, one of which originated in Roxbury, Mayor Walsh was there for the start of the march and later met again on the Common. On Twitter, the mayor shared his gratitude for the people he says peacefully stood up for peace and love. He also thanked Boston Police. Boston Police and Mayor Walsh received some praise from the commander-in-chief for their response to the protest. In a series of tweets, President Trump also said, quote, "I want to applaud the many protesters in Boston who are speaking out against bigotry and hate. Our country will soon come together as one." He added, "Our great country has been divided for decades. Sometimes you need protest in order to heal, and we will heal, and we'll be stronger than ever before."
And you can view our complete coverage of the protest, reaction to it, the events that followed it, all online at cbsboston.com.